Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Hey Nelson, what's going on?
I'm not doing anything much.
Like for the whole episode?
Yep.
All right, it's on me then.
I've kind of just given up on this podcast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to say your show notes dictate that, but I mean, we're almost at 100, Nelson. You got to pick it up for that 100th.
Maybe this is, I can hold it hostage.
Do you think it'd be really frustrating to any fans that we do have if we stopped at 99?
Yeah.
Just never.
It's kind of tempting anyway, isn't it?
Just never got to that 100. Just because if I listened to a podcast and that happened, I would be annoyed.
Yeah.
Like, just do one more.
I think we should do that, and then in like 20 years' time, release the 100th episode.
Yeah. Or do we go?
I bet you we get like millions of hits on that 100th episode.
Do we just go episode 99, episode 101?
Oh, it's not a
And
bad
people
idea.
are like, oh shit,
It's not a bad idea. I would like that also in like, maybe 6 months' time, somebody's like going back and listening to episodes and like, oh, my bloody podcast app isn't working.
We'll just keep mentioning how good episode 100 was in future. Like, oh, remember that time in episode 100? I mean, you can't talk about it because it's kind of like you needed to really listen to it in the moment.
Yeah. It was kind of a live thing.
Sold out it was.
Yeah. Anyway, Cambo, what have you been up to this week?
Nothing. I only just remember that you can ask me that. Normally, I prepare something.
I mean, that normally happens every week.
I know, yeah. So you would think by now, some 96, 97 episodes in, I would have gone, oh, hang on, the first thing he's going to ask me is what I did.
Yeah.
But
it's literally the only thing that stays the same in this show.
That and us hating the question towards the end.
Yeah, well, that's true.
No, nothing. I don't think I did anything.
Okay, good. I don't care. I wanted to get to me anyway.
Okay.
Cambo, look, I don't want to toot my own horn here.
Okay, so we'll move on.
No. But a little while ago, cousin Ron wrote into the show.
Yep. Whose cousin is he? We'll never know. And
he said it was a challenge, actually.
Yeah.
He said he challenged us to do something nice to somebody, something like altruistic, something like a good deed. Yeah, I think it was. And we sort of failed, both of us.
Yeah, yours was nicer than mine though.
I think so. I can't even remember what I did.
Because mine was opportunistically
that's
nice.
right. I just kind of helped somebody on the internet. Yeah. So it required very little effort. But I did go out of my way.
Yeah. Whereas I just had access to cocktails.
Yeah.
And then I just gave them away.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm impressed, Cammy, that you remembered something from the show that had previously happened.
Oh, Nelson, me not remembering is just a big joke. And I actually very meticulously catalogue every joke we've ever said.
That's not true at all.
No. I forgot you were going to ask me what I did.
Yeah. So anyway, that's actually been playing on my mind a little bit. I reckon ever since that day.
You thought you hadn't done enough good.
I've just sort of, well, it wasn't so much about that, but it was about being more on the lookout for doing something good, Because I feel like I'm not necessarily going to go out of my way, but I think when an opportunity presents itself, I should do the right thing. I should do a good deed, something altruistic. Right. So the other day, I was at the supermarket checkout, and it was the self-serve things. Yep. And as I was
putting people out of job already a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, am I responsible for that? I suppose because I use it technically. Anyway, and so I start scanning my items, and then this lady next to me, an older lady, I want to say like 50s. Yep. She's trying to scan her card to pay for her shopping. It's not working. Sure. And then
you paid for it. Oh, well done.
And then after a lot of me waiting around because she was talking to this person, I was like, oh, well, maybe it'll work. Right. And then she ended up going to the ATM. And meanwhile, I had already paid for all my stuff, but I was like, oh, I'm sort of committed. I had mentally committed myself to stay there.
Right.
But it didn't work in the ATM
Wait, so
either.
did you... But you interacted with this woman, or you just standing there?
No, I just stood there awkwardly outside the self... Like, I was kind of outside of the supermarket.
You were just looking
Just watching.
Right, okay.
I was just watching her.
Yeah.
And then...
So far, just as an update.
Yeah.
Not a good thing yet.
Not a great thing. Anyway... So then she was leaving, and then I went back up to her and I said, "Look, I've noticed you've, had a problem with your card."
Yeah.
I said, "I noticed your groceries are only $20. I don't mind. I can pay for them if you like. Save you going away and whatever." And she goes, "Oh, that's so lovely. Yeah, like thank you so much. Yeah." And then she said something that made me immediately regret my good deed.
No. Okay. So you've done a very nice thing here. Offered to pay for a lady's groceries.
Yeah.
What did she say?
Having some trouble. Do you want to guess what it had to roughly do with?
Was it racist in any way?
No.
I don't know. I just thought she might have been like, thank you.
Thank
and
you
also,
so much.
Black lives don't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
God, oh, no. No, she said, "What's your star sign?"
Oh, no. It's worse.
It's so much worse than racism. You're right. And I was like, I don't know. I don't really know what to say to that question because I sort of want to pretend like I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I know my star sign, obviously. Yeah. But, I want to kind of throw off that it's not really relevant.
Do you know what I always do whenever people ask me that? I tell them my wrong star sign. I'm like, I'm a Leo. They're like, yeah, you are a Leo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not a Leo.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But I could have done that. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell her what I am. So I said, I'm a Libra. And she goes, me too.
Connection.
Right then and there, I threw her groceries across the floor and I said, "Get a job, you bum." No, I didn't. Do you know, I actually made it worse because I said, that must have been the reason.
Oh, why did you?
I know, because I was just being a nice person, okay?
No, but you've
done
a good deed, right? So your points are up, right?
Yeah.
Your spiritual points. We're going this way.
All right.
Your spiritual points are up.
Yep.
Right? So you can now afford some bad and just to level yourself out. You could have lectured her right then and there.
Oh, okay. And then I would have just been back to even.
It would have been back to even, but you would have had the satisfaction of being like, no. You know what? No.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll remember that for next time.
Do you think that we get on so well because I'm also a Libra?
Oh, that's probably it.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I think so. Maybe. Listeners, are you all Libras?
Imagine if all our listenership.
I would actually start to be curious about that. If all our listeners were Libras, I would be like, okay, you know what? Maybe there's something to this. This is very strange. And then could you Facebook advertise to specific star signs? They should introduce that as a thing for sure. Even just for, idiots that buy into it.
Yeah, that's true. I reckon you can. I reckon there's an audience for that.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting.
All right. Let's save that idea. Let's put
sorry, guys. That was marketing talk just then. We didn't mean to add that. Now you've seen behind the curtain of how we advertise.
But the thing is, we'll never go and end up doing anything about it.
No.
That's generally our style. Okay, I say let's get into Reddit on Reddit.
Okay.
Oh, no!
What have you done?
I haven't written the Redditor's name.
Nelson.
I feel bad about that because, sometimes I don't care because I'm like, whatever. But I sort of enjoyed this one. Anyway,
very unprofessional.
Anyway, okay. This is by
Anonymous.
And it was a sign on a corkboard.
Okay, yeah.
Don't know where.
Like a tan notice board kind of thing?
I'm sure. Yep. And it said, up the top, wanted to borrow an orange cat. And then underneath, wanted to borrow an orange cat for 24 to 48 hours. To have a lasagna dinner with a Garfield-loving 4-year-old and 2-year-old children. Will return cat happy and cared for. Cat will not be required to eat lasagna if contraindicted.
What are you trying to say?
It's a very interesting word, but I cannot pronounce it very well. Contraindicted. Contraindicated.
Okay, yeah.
It means like
contraindicated. Yeah. Sorry, I had to look at a show note, Nelson.
Contraindicated. Yeah, I know. I actually really love that word. that because it's like it means like if you don't want it to because it's not good for. Anyway. It goes on.
This first one, Nelson, you're knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, please, no feral cats, and please take your cat back at the end. Not looking to adopt. Thank you. An increasingly desperate, but not crazy, mum of 2 with no friends that own orange cats.
Yeah. That last bit. Anytime, nothing makes you sound crazier than you trying to prove you're not crazy.
Yeah, I'm not crazy.
Yeah. If you just said, I need an orange cat, my kids love Garfield.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, that's okay. And they're like, yeah, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Like, to what extent does this go? Like, if I said, hey, can you shove a crayon up my ass? Do I become more crazy after I say, I'm not crazy though?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
If I just said, hey, can you shove a crayon up my ass?
Because I think
you'd be like, well, it's a bit weird.
I think objectively you know it's a bit crazy and it's your like mechanism.
Right. In fact, it's worse because that's definitely crazy.
But if you're like, can you shove a crayon up my ass? I'd probably be like, he must have his reasons.
But
I don't know what they are. But there must be something behind this. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a good lesson to learn out there.
Like I think with that post, the more you learn about it, the crazier it seems. Can I borrow an orange cat? It's a weird request, but you're like, well, obviously they need an orange cat for something. Yeah. Then you go, can I borrow an orange cat? My kids love Garfield. You're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I borrow an orange cat? Kids love Garfield. I won't feed it lasagna. It's getting a little crazier.
Yeah.
And then by the end,
it's kind of like I might feed it lasagna.
Yeah. And by the end, with the I'm not crazy, I would find Can I borrow an orange cat way less crazy. And the more I hear about it, the crazier it sounds.
Really? Because I feel like, can I borrow an orange cat? I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, it's
because
weird.
my kid's like Garfield. I'm like, okay, context.
But again, my head goes, well, they must need an orange cat for something. You know, like...
Okay, I see where you're going.
Like, I assume a sane reason for them. You know.
Is Garfield even orange? He's like yellow, isn't he?
No, he's orange. He's got little yellow stripes on his back.
Oh, yellow stripes. Yeah. Oh, I thought he was like yellow and black stripes. I don't know.
Yeah, there might be black stripes, actually, now that I think about it. But he's definitely orange.
Definitely orange. Yeah, that's probably true.
Do you think those kids were disappointed because cats, especially strangers' cats, are very antisocial? So I imagine you'd get a cat and it would just run off. And it wouldn't sit on a bench like Garfield does, making sly comments about John, his owner.
I think if you got a cat that was fat enough to represent Garfield, it's probably just going to
That's true. It would need to be a hefty cat.
Yeah. Like a tabby cat. That's like, they're like orange orange cats, right? And they're normally like a bit bigger, I think.
Okay. Yeah. You need a chubby little cat that'll just sit there.
Yeah. This is what I'm thinking there.
Okay.
Because kind of on that point, right? A cat that you don't know, like it's not going to act like Garfield. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not going to make, jokes at Otis.
Yeah.
And it probably won't say, I hate Mondays.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to do it on a Monday. Just in case.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Actually, maybe you would do it on a Monday. Because then if the cat was standoffish, the mum can be like, well, he hates Mondays. Anyway, this is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if this, request has been filled.
Right.
But I think if I was a kid, the most realistic thing to happen would be a Garfield, i.e. you and or me.
Yeah.
Dressed up as a cat.
Yep.
And do you like lasagna?
Yeah, I do.
Free meal?
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Maybe make a bit of coin on the side?
Do you think the children would recognize, because they're not like babies, do you think they'd recognize the scale difference?
Yeah. But I mean, like they believe in Santa. That's pretty stupid.
But I'm saying they would be like, but Garfield in the books.
Yeah. But you would just say, no, actually Garfield's giant.
Okay, right. That's a trick.
It's just, like if you were drawn into the comics, you would be tiny.
No, yeah, you know what you say? You say, yeah, Garfield is my size. John, his owner, is a giant.
Yeah.
They never address it.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Easy.
Okay. You've got us out of that.
Free meal.
Yep, free meal.
And alternatively...
Was there payment in this?
We could ask for it.
I mean...
she was getting pretty desperate.
I mean, I would do it for the free meal. But if we can squeeze some money out of it, I'd be happy to do that too.
Yeah. Also, what do you think about a pet borrowing service?
Pet borrowing service?
Yeah.
I think there's money in it.
Yeah, I reckon.
Well, I mean, there's kind of something similar, which I actually think is a very clever idea, which is kind of a pet borrowing service, but when people are going on holidays, they need someone to mind their pet, and someone wants to look after a dog for a couple of weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like I guess like an Airbnb kind of situation where you're like, I'm not using it. Do you want it? Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, but it's clever.
We could do that. I think we need to work out a system though where it's always being borrowed.
So you don't ever.
I don't want to ever have to look after it. And I imagine doing like hundreds of pets at once.
Yeah. So what you need to do is make sure they are cute enough to always be in demand.
Yeah. Fully booked.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Or we just won't put a chip in it. And if we don't have a booking, we'll just take it into the vet.
Just let it loose.
Yeah, exactly.
Run, dog, run.
Yeah. Oh no, maybe we will put a chip in it. Right. So then we just let it run off. Yeah. Somebody finds it, and then like 2 days later, we get a call like, "Oh, your dog's at the pound or whatever," and then we're like, "Oh, don't have a booking yet. We'll come in tomorrow."
But I think you get fined for that, don't you?
Well, if we're charging enough for the borrowing of pets.
Right.
Look, Gabbo, I'm trying, okay? This podcast isn't making any money.
Oh, no, I've been making a lot of money. Have you not been making any money?
No.
Oh, me neither.
Yep. That's why you're always buying fancy clothes.
If only they could see me now.
All right. Anyway, I say let's get into Today I Learned. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Let's play the intro to that. Today I Learned. This Today I Learned is by Hajalama111. Today I learned a Japanese company has awarded its non-smoking employees 6 extra vacation days to compensate for the smokers' smoke breaks.
Okay. Yeah, what do you think of this? There are people that are up in arms about the smoke break being unfair.
Yeah.
Because it's a choice to start smoking, and then therefore why do they get extra time off? What do you think about that?
Well,
because you're a former smoker.
I'm a former smoker.
Yeah.
And I used to take smoke breaks.
Yep.
And I know this sounds ridiculous, and I am a non-smoker now, but I would almost bet my life's worth that I was more productive
as a smoker.
As a smoker after a smoke break, for sure.
Yeah.
To me, it was like when I would have a smoke break, it was like I kind of wouldn't allow myself to do it until I had like kind of finished doing a task.
Right. So it was like a reward.
Yeah, it was like a reward.
Sure.
And so I'd be very focused on this thing, and then I'd have a smoke break, and then I'd come back and I'd just like start something else.
Okay.
And and then like since not being a smoker, I think I kind of just almost get disinterested in what I'm doing, sort of like there's no urgency in a way. There's no like...
It's because...
It's like I'm actually taking a break, but sitting at my desk sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like I actually still take the break. I just don't go out, but it doesn't feel as rewarding as a smoke break because you get to kind of leave the environment and then come back again.
And one of the ways to break up monotony is to set like mini goals and then have mini rewards.
Yeah.
So in a way, a smoke break was like a mini reward.
Yeah.
Like, cool, once I get this, after that I get to go out for 10 minutes, have a smoke, come back in.
Yeah.
But you don't have that anymore. You're not working towards anything anymore. Yeah. You're just working towards, you finish that, now there's a new job.
There's another thing to do. Yeah. And so I think it does lead to like, well, I've done this thing, and so I'm just going to kind of bum around a little bit, possibly, before I do the next thing.
Yeah.
And I just think I'm just far less productive because of it. But I don't think I could, because in the past, when I was smoking and I was a manager as well, it used to kind of come up like, well, how come you get to go outside and take a break for a bit, whereas the like employees can't.
Yeah.
And then there was the argument. It wasn't just me. There was a few other kind of like smokers as well. And there was the argument like, well, you could go outside for 5 minutes, if you want.
Yeah.
That can be your, thing. But again, now not being a smoker, I just couldn't do that either. It's not as rewarding.
Yeah.
Taking that mini break.
So do you think then?
So what I'm saying is everybody should start smoking.
That's an official.
If you want to be more productive,
that's an official podcast recommendation.
Take up smoking.
Yeah. Do you think then
mm-hmm.
the carrot in front of you being an extra couple of days off?
Mm-hmm.
Say you don't take them all at once. Say you take them every now and then. Just a random day off here and there would motivate you to get more done, so you can have that day off.
I don't know. I guess that's kind of tricky to say. I think, again, it's not as... I don't know. It seems like the reward is more instant, though.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Having the smoke break. It's like... I don't know. I still feel like you're... I just honestly think... Somebody needs to do a study about, like, productivity of smokers and non-smokers. And I'd be willing to put my money on that smokers are actually... more productive. It's a very difficult conversation to have when you are the smoker, though. And even I think now I would struggle to have this conversation in a workplace supporting smokers. I don't think it just doesn't really go down very well, People.
I have a weird one lately. So lately, I'm required to drink a lot of water, right? Yeah. So I'm drinking like 4 to 5 liters of water a day. Sometimes even 6.
Yeah.
It's like a fair bit of water.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that no one prepares you for, I guess, when you're doing that is that you go to the bathroom a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And now, weirdly, I use that as a chance to have a bit of a break as well.
Yeah.
So I'll go to the bathroom, then I'll just take a long wander back to the desk. And weirdly, it's become because of all this water I'm intaking, I have to go like 5-6 times a day.
Yeah.
They're weirdly, that's become, I'm like, oh, yes, good, I need to pee.
Yeah. I'm going to quickly finish this task so I can pee again.
Yeah, pretty much. And then when I'm peeing, I'm like, yeah, baby, this is the life. Taking a little break from work.
This is what it's all about. Okay. So you're saying it can be substituted.
I mean, that's a very specific substitute.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You need to drink a lot of water for that substitute to work.
What if it... Actually, do you know what I sort of replaced it with? At least when I was working at my previous job, is getting a tea.
Oh, yeah. Now, would you leave the building to get a tea? Or would you make a tea in the kitchen? That's your break.
I made the tea in the kitchen.
Right.
Yeah.
Less of a break, but I get it.
Yeah. But it was still kind of like, I don't know, you had to... I didn't even have to wait for the water to boil. So it was already hot when it came out of the tap. But, I don't know. I just took my time, obviously. It also helps when, you're working with idiots around you, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I need to get out of here because of these guys. Speaking of which, I might just go to the bathroom.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm back. Anyway, here's another one, Cambo.
Yep, go on.
This is by Battle for Seattle. Today I learned Anne Frank has a tampon named after her in Japan. And because the enthusiasm she displayed in her diary about getting her first period shattered a cultural taboo, the Japanese refer to a woman's first day of menstruation as Anne's Day.
Oh, okay. There's a lot to unpack there.
Do you not like talking about periods, Cambo?
No, the period part is fine. It's the branding anything off Anne Frank is a very weird line to walk. Because you're like, can you brand and package what essentially is a tragedy?
I don't think that's what's bad at all, though.
Yeah, because I think in a way, it's celebrating something that she helped a nation with.
Yeah. I mean,
Anne's Day I have no problem with. It's the brand of tampon named after her.
Well, I mean, I think that I know what you mean, but I think that it just doesn't really matter. It's not like I don't know, a company that was trying to sell the same shampoo that Anne used or something like that, right? Because I feel like that's a little bit more vain.
It's not like she's on a box of Wheaties or something.
But it's that's right. Yeah, that'd be good. You wouldn't want to like name an escape room after her, would you?
Well, exactly, yeah. And like Wheaties was always athletes, so they need to put like, I don't know, like hide and seek champion or something.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just about the fact that I mean, it's super weird. Like, I give you mean, it's a super weird connection, but that's why I kind of think it's so brilliant at the same time.
Right.
That it's like, who the hell would have thought that? Can you imagine being Anne Frank? I mean, I know that's really hard on just like multiple levels.
Yeah. No, I've done it.
But yeah,
I'm there. Go on.
You're like, you're hiding.
Yep.
You fear for your life every day.
Yep.
You're writing in a diary, and then you write about your first period, and then imagine just somebody like from the future just pops up there and is like, "Hey, do you know we're going to make tampons because of you writing about your period in here?
Do you know you're going to help the nation of Japan?"
Yeah, exactly. Like they
overcome quite a social taboo.
Yeah. Like, it's
and she's like, "Shut up, shut up."
You're like, "What? What are you talking about?"
This is muffled. What was that?
Yeah, and you go, "Oh, you know, don't worry about it. This. Trust me, this is the most famous thing you're known for."
Yeah, because I guess what threw me initially is when I think of Anne Frank, I don't think of periods.
Yeah. Well, neither do I. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Japanese do.
The Japanese do.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
Hmm.
Anyway,
I don't know how I feel about it. Anne's Day, I'm fine with. Weirdly.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you mean about the thing, but I imagine that Anne's Day came first and then the tampon.
Yeah, probably.
I think if it was the other way around, it would be worse because it's like the marketing and making money from it first, and then it being. But I think the Anne's, I don't know if that was first, and it's sort of okay. Anyway, this is what I was thinking: is what are we gonna be known for?
Mediocre podcasts. When someone does a mediocre podcast, they're like, geez, that was a Reddit on Reddit.
That was a raw.
A raw, yeah.
Okay. That's good. You know what? If we can start that, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
If people just are like...
Oh, this is a raw of an episode, this one.
This is a raw. And then, that could catch on.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's do that. Guys, if you're listening to, I mean, obviously not this show.
Yeah, obviously.
Because this is classic raw.
If you are like, if you interact with another podcast, and obviously don't because you want your loyalty.
Yeah.
But if you do interact with another podcast and they do have a mediocre episode, just comment on anything of theirs saying a real raw episode.
Or I think if people ask for, podcast recommendations, you can be like, oh, well, like, here's a few ones that are kind of raw.
Yeah, because then people
then start with us.
Because the good thing is,
obviously,
that's a good conversation starter.
Yeah,
because obviously, if it's being spelt out, especially, they'll know that's not RAW, as in like a bit unfiltered and raw.
Yeah,
it's ROR. Yeah. People are like, what's ROR? Then you can link them to the podcast.
Exactly. Then
I mean, not this episode because it's a bit raw.
Yeah, it's very raw. Right.
Let's do it today, Alan. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's get into what we shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Bortzilla.
Sorry. It's found it really funny.
Oh, calm down, Camby. Okay, this one says, some think drug dealing to be a glamorous job, when in reality, it's just another crappy sales job with no insurance.
I mean, I guess so. Do you ever think...
That was my question. Have you ever thought about drug dealing as like a glamorous... I have never... Like, I'm guessing he assumes maybe like drug lords.
Yeah, I'm thinking like drug kingpin, like in the mansions in Colombia, maybe.
Yeah.
But I've never seen a drug dealer be like...
Oh, yeah.
Swishy.
Whoa,
right.
I want to be that guy.
I wish I had a pair of New Balance sneakers like that.
Yeah, he's almost got a full set of teeth. I'd like to be that guy. Yeah, it's just I thought this was strange. Like, it's never like popped up in my head.
It's not like you're at a music festival and some guy in fucking like tops and tails comes up to you. He's like, "Good day, sir. Would you like some MDM?" You know, like
yeah. And they're not living in like mansions. Like,
no,
you definitely need to like launder a lot of money. To get to the point of like a glamorous lifestyle.
Yeah, you need.
And I imagine all the like scumbags you meet as well dealing drugs. I was like, I would just not want to do that.
You need to have a drug empire, and if you have a drug empire, you know what? You're not a drug dealer.
Yeah.
You give them to drug dealers, and then they sell it.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
just supply it. That's the drug supplying
really,
is a glamorous
you've just got
job.
Connections.
Yeah,
you know, it's nothing. You're like, because at a certain point. You've just like set up everything, you know. Somebody grows it over here, they give it to a guy over there.
Yep.
You don't even touch it.
Yep. You're the middleman.
You get the money.
Yeah.
That sounds glamorous.
Yeah.
So we can try and start that, I guess.
All right, be drug kingpins.
Yeah.
Not dealers. Not growers.
Not dealers. But if you want to be a dealer, if you think
get in contact.
If you think drug dealing is glamorous, I've heard it is.
Yeah.
May as well get into contact with us.
Or, on the other side, if you grow drugs.
Grow drugs, yes.
Get in contact.
Manufacture drugs. In anything to do with drugs.
Yeah.
Give us a call.
Yeah.
Except if you're a druggie.
Yeah, except if you're buying them. We're not drug dealers.
Yeah, we can't stress that enough. Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
This is by Ridiculous01. Given that tickling yourself does not work the same way as someone else tickling you, we really lucked out with masturbation. So dumb.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty true, I guess.
True.
Why is that, do you think?
That we can't tickle ourselves?
Well, yeah, like some sensations you can't give to yourself, but that particular one, no problems.
That's true, because from like a evolutionary standpoint,
I think it's
I think that it makes little sense.
I think it's to do with sensitivity of area.
Yeah.
The area that you would use for masturbation, I would say, has a lot more like nerve endings and whatnot.
Right.
So even if you tickled yourself there, you'd probably laugh.
What?
I'm just saying that your genitals are very sensitive. They've got a lot of nerve endings in them.
Yeah, I've never been tickled on my genitals.
I know. So I'm saying maybe it's like super, super ticklish.
But I've never tickled myself on my genitals. Are you saying that there's a possibility that I could tickle my genitals myself
and make yourself laugh?
And laugh? Yeah. Okay. I don't know what sensations you have down there, but
I think it is because like you tickle yourself on your chest or whatever. I mean, I'm not really ticklish anyway. Weirdly,
I'm a little bit ticklish.
I don't know why. Like even on the feet.
Yeah, I get it a little bit on my feet, but if I concentrate, I can not be.
Well, that's what it is. If someone's trying to tickle me, I just decide I'm not ticklish, and then I'm not. It's really weird.
Yeah, I really hate. Let's get into this. Okay. I really hate the idea that tickling is flirtatious. For one,
yeah,
I dated a girl a little while ago. I almost said little girl. Not this time. I dated her like, I don't know, last year sometime.
Yeah.
And she used to like tickle. Thought it was flirtatious. And And I was like, this is kind of just annoying. Because, like I said, I can kind of choose to not be ticklish, but it still does require some willpower.
Sure.
You know, it's not like I can just stand there. I kind of have to concentrate on not being tickled.
Yeah.
And then that just annoys me. I'm like, I'm not comfortable doing this. Why? I just don't understand how it became a norm.
Yeah.
How it became a thing.
Yeah. As a rule, don't tickle anyone.
Don't tickle anyone.
Because
That's the point.
the chance of you coming off creepy
Yeah.
is so high
Yeah.
at all times.
Yeah.
Very few times do you not come off creepy when you sneak up and tickle someone.
Yeah. Same goes really with masturbation. I mean, at least ask permission first.
Yeah. Don't be a Louis C.K.
You don't, yeah. But I even remember as a child when I would get tickled, and I remember, like, I was very ticklish when I was a child. I feel like most kids are just ticklish.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, hating it and basically being in tears because I couldn't stop. Like, someone, I don't know whether it was like a sibling or a cousin or something, or an uncle, like, tickling me. And I was, like, really angry, but laughing at the same time.
Do you think it's
and, like, almost crying. Like, I want this to stop. I just don't know how.
Do you think it's a genetic fault with our species?
Yeah.
Animals are just like the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
They just lightly touch each other with their fingertips, and the other one's incapacitated.
Yeah, that's true.
I see them kick each other and they don't fall down.
You know,
But then they just lightly brush each other with their fingertips. They're done.
This is like some Crocodile Dundee shit. We all thought it was a joke, but he just worked out how to do effectively the same thing as tickling a human, but to animals.
Yeah, it's true.
By wiggling his thumb and
Finger,
and pinky. Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
Can be. This is by White Vanilla 69. 69. A successful marriage ends with watching the other person die. And same with a murder.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. I think a successful marriage, like a properly successful one, if you were really in sync, you'd die at the same time.
Yeah, that is like the perfect.
Yeah, that's the perfect marriage.
I don't know. Is that?
Because you'd be like, honey, you want to go? And she'd be like, all right. And then you just die.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Really, the unsuccessful ones is where
one
dies and then the other one's like, oh, thank God. Now I've got to hold on to life for as long as I can.
Now,
because otherwise in the afterlife I will be with them.
If you have a grandparent and one of them dies and the other one remains alive, you should just say to them, oh, I thought you had a really good marriage, but obviously not.
Obviously not.
Obviously things were falling apart there.
Yeah. Obviously, you're a massive bitch, Grandma.
What a cynical episode this is.
It's whatever. Okay, here's another one.
All right.
This is by number one handsome buddy.
Okay.
Number one handsome buddy. Anyway. Every bike you have ever rode, every toy you have ever played with, every item you have ever lost is still somewhere on Earth.
In some form, I guess. I mean, like, what if it's burnt and ash and then going up into the atmosphere?
Give me an example.
I don't know, a toy that was burnt.
But you can't think of one, can you? So,
like a specific example.
Did you have anything that was burnt? A toy of yours?
We used to have big bonfires and throw stuff in. Yeah.
Okay. Problem solved.
Yes. But technically, that is still somewhere in the earth.
Yeah, but that's true.
It's not lying somewhere in the earth.
I think this is making the generalization. It's talking about obviously waste.
Yeah.
Which is, and obviously even burning stuff to that degree is not good. It doesn't actually help the problem.
Yeah. But it was the 90s now, so we didn't know any better.
Yeah. You threw anything in.
Yeah. Threw greenhouse gases in there. We didn't know.
Yeah. Just, wow, that's really just going straight to the source.
Yeah.
So, but I thought this is interesting. And it really makes you realize, I think, because that's true, right? Because we know at the rate at which like plastic deteriorates, it's nothing.
Yeah.
We've seen like, bottles in the middle of the ocean or whatever that are, you know, very old. I was going to say hundreds of years. And I realized that was ridiculous. But, you know, very old and are still, you know, just maintained in the form that they are.
Yeah.
And so if you think about every single item that you've ever owned, every single, like, yogurt that you've ever eaten, that tub is still somewhere.
Yeah.
That, like, lid is still somewhere. That every, like, trading card you've ever had. Every
remember that Pokemon addiction you had back in the 90s?
Yeah.
Good one. You just killed a seal.
Or Tarzos.
Yeah.
That was a big one for me. Yeah, that's true. But Tarzos were pretty fun though. But it makes me because I occasionally think of this about, you know, whenever I buy something or whenever I see, I think, other people with stuff.
Yeah.
I like to try and think that I'm well, no, okay. I like to try and think that I'm good with not buying crap that I don't need until I've bought it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I've just added to the plastic everywhere.
But the fact that you have that thought is a good thing.
So yeah, it's still, I think it technically means I'll still get into heaven.
Yeah.
This God's like, oh, you use a lot of plastic. I'm like, yeah, but I thought about it and I did. And he's like, oh, yeah, I've got that note here that says that's okay.
So I think I think there is, you and I are not so into having that much stuff.
Yeah.
And I think we both have that mind of being like, well, we
you
don't really
used to
need
be.
it. I used to be
a big sucker for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, actually, yeah, okay, keep going, sorry.
And there's actually something that really, like, turned me onto this is actually a Jerry Seinfeld bit.
Well,
we talked about the evolution of having something.
Does he say, what's the deal with having stuff?
Yeah, that's how he starts it. He says, the process is always the same. You get it home, and you take it out of the box in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And you're all excited about your new thing. And then you bring it into the lounge room, and you're excited about the thing. And then eventually, the thing ends up on a shelf.
Yeah.
Right? And then eventually, the thing goes from the shelf and goes into the garage. And he's like, just know that nothing ever makes its way back out of the garage and back onto the shelf.
Yeah, that's true.
And ever since I heard that, it just clicked that I'm like, yeah, I've got all this stuff stored that I don't want.
Yeah.
And even I was talking to someone the other day about, we've got a storage cage here. And I said, you know, I should probably just go and throw everything in that storage cage out.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe 2 or 3 things, like we've got a table and stuff in there that occasionally we do use.
Yeah, yeah.
Most of it's just stuff that I brought over and was like, oh, I don't want it. I guess I'll put it in the cage.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've never used it the whole time I've been here.
Yeah.
It can go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And, it's such a, like, I don't know, pain, because I notice a lot when I see it in certain hobbies. So I've been watching a lot of D&D.
Yeah.
We know this already. And I watched a lot of Critical Role in particular. And for a long time, they had a sponsor, which was Loot Crate. And Loot Crate, I think, is the pinnacle of, like, bullshit that no one ever needs. Nothing is that cool. You pull it out of the box and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then never again use it, look at it, or anything. It goes straight into the bin.
In my peak of wanting things, I used to get Loot Crate.
Yeah.
And it's just the worst. It's the worst stuff.
It's the stupidest idea. Although I think, I haven't heard of Loot Crate for like a couple of years, because I'm watching like old episodes of stuff.
Yeah,
but I think it's just died out. I think
so. Yeah,
I freaking hope so.
Yeah.
I heard it was maybe a good thing in the end. Like, you know, enough people signed up to it, and they were like, "Wait a second, I don't need shit."
Yeah, exactly. I don't need this lanyard for The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Like, why does this exist?
Weirdly, the only physical things I like to have are like books. Yeah. I don't know why, but I like having those. Yeah, almost as a sentimental thing more than anything. If I like a book, I like to have it. But I don't feel that way about movies. I don't feel that way about albums.
Okay,
I don't feel that way about like all that. I'm happy to just have digitally and not have to have a physical version of.
And it's probably like, I mean, you know, picking out things, but it's probably slightly better than, you know, something super plasticky.
Yeah, I guess that
you can regrow trees easily enough. Yeah. It's fine.
I guess so. Yeah.
And when you're burning paper, it's not as many like. Well, actually, they still put like chemicals and shit. Yeah. Anyway, like, look, it's fine. On the scale of, you know, like very plasticky and bad for the environment, to dirt. I don't know. It's closer to dirt.
Cool. Closer to dirt than plastic. I'll accept it.
But I was just going to quickly say the other thing is D&D itself.
Yeah.
Like there's one girl on the show, and she has, and they sort of all do, but they have like hundreds of dice.
Right.
Or die. Anyway, like she just pulls out a massive bag, and that's like one of her many bags that she has. And they go to like a convention and they all buy dice, and it's like, part of me just wants to say, you don't need that many. Like, that's really bad. Stop encouraging people to just buy dice. And whenever I see dice advertised, I'm like, you only need one set, really. And I understand the idea of like, I think, for a group you can have a few, like everybody can have one set. That's fine. Yeah. I think, because
just convenience wise, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Like convenience. I think there's kind of a trade-off where I was actually speaking to a friend of ours who's doing her PhD, and she's studying a lot into plastics and one-use plastics in particular.
Yep, she's a big fan of Coles.
And and she said, plastic actually isn't the enemy. Like, plastic is amazing. It has so many uses. It's so good. Like, just technology in general wouldn't exist without plastic. Like, you need it for motherboards in a computer, and computers are in freaking everything. So it's like, there's genuinely good uses for this. But it's really about the kind of one-use plastics. And I kind of see the idea of like dice or something coming into that, where yes, it is useful, but eventually you buy too much and then that's not useful anymore because you're not using all of them every time, so it just becomes a waste of plastic again. But anyway, plastic's bad.
That was the point of this.
What was the
whole
question?
thing.
I don't even know.
Something about toys that you've used or bikes or something.
It honestly made me think, like, I just remember, after I read this, I remember breaking like it was like a toy, what do you call it? Like a musical box type thing. Yep. Except it was ceramic. And I remember breaking it, and I would have been like, I reckon 5 years old, maybe 6 years old. And when I read this, I remember breaking it, and I was like, that's just somewhere. Yeah. Pieces of that ceramic are just somewhere. Yeah. Now, that's crazy to think about that.
And also, if you're listening and you got stuff in your garage, throw it out.
Throw it out.
Yep. Even if it's your car.
Burn it. All right, Kevin, let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Sprongix. Sprongix. Okay. I thought this one was pretty relevant for us.
Yep.
It's doomsday.
Okay.
But God is busy and delegate it to you.
Okay.
How do you wipe out humanity?
I mean, are there limitations?
Do whatever you want.
Like, can we just Thanos this thing and click and everyone's gone? Or do we have to?
Well, I mean, I guess you could.
Or is he like, that's impractical and magic?
Yeah, he's like,
pick a weapon.
What am I, a miracle worker?
Told you I'm busy.
That is far too impractical.
The laziness in me wants to do it in one foul swoop.
Okay.
Right? I don't want to have to go door to door with a machete,
Well, I mean, I think you're definitely on one end of the scale and the other. I think there's a middle section.
Right, so just maybe a bunch of natural disasters or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I mean, is that what you're going to choose?
Yeah.
Just a bunch of natural disasters. Okay. Well, I mean, that's boring, but that's fine, You do you. I think God wants me to do this. Yep. So, biblical.
First of all, he's real, so we're shocked.
Like, oh my God, really?
You're real, and
you're
of all people
choosing us
to us. Okay, you don't listen to the show, do you?
Yeah. We've just gone under the radar for him. Obviously, he's paid attention to literally every single other person, and everyone's horrible.
And he's like, guys, I've been meaning to get around to it. I've got someone
you and everybody else, buddy. Anyway, so I'm thinking Reign of Toads.
A rain of toads.
Right? But just constantly.
Yeah, so until it crushes people?
Well, I think that, like, eventually, if toads rain down for long enough, like, just things will die.
Yeah.
You know, like, humanity will just die out in some way or another. You know? So, like, eventually crops probably won't grow.
Time isn't necessarily a problem for you, though.
Oh, no. I feel like it doesn't have to be, like, right now, you know?
See, I was going for a right now solution.
Right, okay.
But I guess you could just turn on the toad rain and then kick your feet up for a couple months.
Yeah, I reckon, and I'd be sort of interested to see, like, exactly how people die from this.
How toad rain essentially destabilizes the world.
Because somebody would be, you know, windscreen wipers aren't made for, you know, getting rid of toads.
Yep.
There'd be a bunch of accidents.
Yep. And people would essentially, if they wanted to survive, would have to go into deep bunkers in the earth.
And probably eat toad.
And eat toad. But they could never come out again.
Yeah.
Because the world would just be toad.
Well, they wouldn't be able to open the door. Because there would be...
After a while, the amount of toad on the door...
Yeah,
that's true. And then they just die off, I guess. Once the flies run out. That's not a bad one.
It's kind of an interesting way to end humanity.
It is. It's one that no one saw coming.
You'd be really bummed, right, if you're one of those people that's like, the end is nigh, blah, blah. And you're like expecting this massive show of flame and fire. Yeah. But it just rains toads forever. And you're kind of like, oh, it's starting. I bet it's going to get crazier from here.
Day 4. You're like, still toads, huh?
Still toads. Yeah. I mean...
Are the toads alive or dead?
I think they're alive.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Well, maybe if they land on a soft patch.
Oh, right.
They're alive in the air.
Yeah. And how high are they falling from?
Oh, from the sky.
From the heavens, yeah.
From the toad clouds. I think that.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Or, just for a pun, cats and dogs.
Because there'd be the one guy that would say it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everyone would push him out of the bunker. And he'd get squashed by like a Burmese mountain dog or something.
Yeah. That'd be good. I feel like people would be like, oh, we should have seen this coming. We've been warned about it for generations. Okay. This is by Darooster321. You can freeze time, but only for 10 seconds at a time. What's the best use for this power?
Ooh.
10 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a decent amount of time.
I think if you're a stand-up comedian and someone heckled you, it'd be a very good way to make you look like you have a very quick wit.
Oh, you can't pause time, think of a response.
Yeah, exactly. So say you're a stand-up comedian on stage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, Nelson, I fucked your mum.
I freeze time and I'm like, oh, you fucked my mom. Unfreeze time. I fucked your mom.
That was so quick.
Yeah.
I think you could like assess them in 10 seconds and be like, oh, he's got a big nose or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like you could still do that in a split second.
But what I'm saying is, imagine you can do it in a split second. Imagine what 10 seconds would provide you.
I would prefer kind of like a minute, right?
Well,
I think. I mean, I know we're getting. Yeah, look, I know it's not the rule, but I'm saying it's still not like an amazingly long period of time.
Yeah.
But it would be enough time in that scenario to go down from the stage, get out their wallet, have a look where they live, put it back in their pants, and then get back to the stage and say, "Ha! I know where you live," and then announce their address.
Yeah, that's a good heckle put down, isn't it?
Yeah.
That someone's like, "Oh, your jokes suck." You're like, "Oh yeah, 16 Grover Lane, buddy."
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that'd be good. Or magician.
That's true. Yeah, just get rid of your
Actually, magician. Oh my god! Even with the 10-second thing, that's far easier.
And
because if you're like, look at my hand. Here's a coin. open. You don't even close your hand. Freeze time. Take it away. That would just blow people's minds.
And also the added extra bit is freezing time is actually magic. So as a magician,
Yeah.
you would be legitimately doing magic, but also just fooling people with not magic.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd be annoyed at? This is what would happen. I'd become like a pretty famous magician, and then I'd go on Penn and Teller's Fool Us, right?
Yeah.
And I'd like finally, do a bit of banter, blah, 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 do the act. And then at the end, they'd be like, we reckon you just freeze time. I'd be like, fucking hell.
What if? And maybe we'll just explain in case people haven't seen it. Magicians go on and perform to Penn and Teller to see if they can work out the trick. It'd be interesting if you went on that show and you're like, yeah, cool, look at the coin in my hand, and you froze time, and as you're putting it away, you look at Penn and Teller, and they're also not frozen in time.
Yeah.
And you both you all look at each other being like, oh, we all know what's going on here.
Yeah.
I know your secret, you know my secret. And so are you going to bring me down, or are we going to be all right here?
So then when time unfreezes, it's just you with the coin still in your hand, staring at Penn and Teller, they're staring at you.
And then it's like, he fooled us.
yeah, exactly. I reckon they just kind of clap. We're like, hey. Everybody's like, I didn't even get it. What happened? Wow, it must have been an amazing trick. Okay, here's another use.
Yep.
Right? Having an argument with somebody.
Okay.
It's stupid. And they say something really dumb.
Yep.
I'd like to freeze time, slap them as hard as I can, and unfreeze time again.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be... I feel like I would live a more satisfied life if I could do that. Because there's just occasions where you're like, you're such an idiot. I want to punch you right now. But, law. The law and
social etiquette.
Yeah. But I just think you could punch him and...
Yeah, acts of physical violence are a good use of that power, Nelson.
Just a quick 10 seconds. Okay. Well, that was it. Camping.
Yep.
For Ask Reddit. But now we can move on to question 29 of Making You Like Us. We found a series of questions that... Cambo, come on. You've got one job.
Oh, yeah, no. I see, this is how little I remember this show.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's right. I got it. Go on.
Okay, so we found a series of questions online, 36 questions, and we went through these questions, and at the end of them, you were meant to love us, as per this study. We did those, you ended up loving us, and now on the same study, we found one to make you like us. So we're up to question number 29.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's so distracting.
I added some percussion
to continue to. It was good. Don't worry. It was on point. But also, these questions are really terrible, and this one is really weird. It's really weird.
Yeah, I just read it.
Okay, so question 29 is: describe your mother's best friend.
Yeah. Okay. I guess if we're going current, and this is going to sound very sweet and very sad at the same time.
Okay.
But my mum's best friend is legitimately her husband.
Yeah,
lame. They do everything together. They're both
lame.
Called Terry.
Yeah,
they love that fact.
Yeah,
they have matching pajamas that say T1, T2. Like they're like best buds.
Oh my god,
they're best buds.
Yeah, that's lame. That's just so lame.
Yeah,
I mean, it's great for them.
Hey,
it's great. I'm glad that they're so happy.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly lame.
But I don't think there's anyone else in the world that she like talks to as much and shares as much with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He looks a bit like Colonel Sanders, a little bit.
Yeah, he does.
He's got a little white mustache and goatee.
Yeah, that's true.
He loves race cars. He's got a lot of model race cars. He loves books.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we know how much you like to destroy the environment with books.
I know. I love it.
So, are you his best friend?
Yeah. He's also my best friend.
Okay. My mother's best friend is... she's technically my godmother.
Okay. Yeah.
She does godmother things.
Right.
I don't really.
What's her name?
I've just decided I don't know. Her name's Sarah.
Sarah.
Used to go by Maureen.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I won't even ask. That's self-explanatory.
Sarah in Italian. Well, technically doesn't make sense because a name in any other language is still the same name.
Yeah.
But I think it's
the
like
Italian version.
It's like the version.
Like Michael and Michelle in French.
Yeah. Could be like something like that. Yeah. I don't know how, but Morag used to be a thing, like an Italian thing for Sarah. I don't know. And then it went from Morag to Maureen. And anyway, that's that interesting story.
All right. Well, what a good question.
She's I don't know.
Well, do you know what she does as a job?
In her 60s, well, her husband is a painter.
Yeah.
So, actually, I don't think she works.
Okay,
But she
right.
maybe used to work in like the gallery that they own.
Okay. Yeah.
They still maybe does a little bit of work there. I don't know. I've just
Watch
decided I
this
don't
use
really
of
know
words.
that much about it.
Watch this use of words. That really paints me a picture, Nelson, of this person.
Oh, the painting.
Yeah,
That's
very good. Very
good. I don't know. That's it.
Yep. Cool.
Okay.
You know about my mum's best friend. I know about your mum's best friend.
Yep.
You know what? Write and tell us about your mum's best friend.
Is she hot?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or he?
Oh, he.
Right. Well, now it's time for the Ask Me Anything.
Yay!
Where listeners of the show can write in and ask us anything they want.
Yes. Okay, I go on here from Dylan. It says, Lillip, guys. I don't know what that means.
Do you not remember anything from
Yeah, no, I remember. It's our made-up greeting that we did.
Yeah.
That we invented. After listening to the show, that doesn't make any sense to anyone that's listening to this. It's their first show.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
But Lillip to you, Dylan. After listening to your show for a few episodes, I think I already know the answer, but in any case, do you think you could survive in the wilderness for a month? And what would be your strategy for survival?
Okay.
Do you think you could survive in the wilderness for a month?
I don't think I could. I honestly don't think I could. I think it would depend on, I don't know where exactly.
Yeah,
I don't really know how to hunt. Like, am I presuming that I have absolutely nothing? Like, I've got to make a spear out of a stick and try and like hunt something for food, or like forage for berries.
Yeah,
because that shit I don't know. I can attempt to stab something, but I think to get to the point where I've like created a spear that's good enough to, I don't know, hunt something, and for me to get close enough, I just feel like it would be freaking impossible. I'd probably be eating insects and stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like
I think I could survive, but I couldn't thrive.
Yeah,
I could probably make it out of the month in very bad shape.
Cambo, we both know you would die in like 30 seconds out of just boredom.
Yeah. Boredom aside.
That's your biggest sort of threat of living in the wilderness.
Yeah.
It's like finding food and water. You'd probably be, adequate at that at the least.
I
can't watch something or listen to something right now.
That's my biggest fear is being unplugged.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I could, if there was like some kind of a stream nearby.
Yeah.
I think I could survive.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you could find water, probably have a much higher success rate of chance of surviving. I don't know. I do think though, I think it would just be a lot harder than I even imagine.
Yeah.
Kind of like a dumb thing to say,
it's not like you could just, you're not gonna. It's not going to be what's that? Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think I could make myself a rudimentary shelter.
Yeah,
I reckon I could do that. I reckon I could find somewhere to stay.
I would definitely try to hibernate. Find a cave somewhere and just sleep for as much as possible, and then I would just wait. I think that would be my problem. I would sleep through the day, and then I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh, I'm really hungry. Should have probably been looking for food for the last 4 hours.
and I think that if there was a stream, I think I could fish.
Okay.
I think I could in a month.
But I mean, you'd have to spear them.
Because or trap them in some way.
Okay. Yeah. With your bare hands.
Yeah, maybe. You never know. Give me a month.
Bear Grylls style.
The end of the month, I have one fish.
End of the month. Yeah. I don't know.
Starting fire is obviously the challenge as well. Because movies would lead you to believe get two sticks and rub them together, and 100% of the time that's fire.
Yeah. Well, the thing that made me realize how hard it was to start was episodes of Survivor.
Yeah.
It's like normally every first episode is normally like them starting fire, and if you won the challenge, you got some flint or something to start it with. But yeah, I remember this one episode of people they spent like hours and their hands were like bleeding because they were trying to like, rub sticks. They kind of had this different system. It wasn't quite like rubbing sticks together. And apparently it was, they get trained to do it beforehand anyway, or at least get educated on how to make fire first. And so they were theoretically doing everything right. And it's like, I don't even have that information that they were told. And then I'm expected to create fire. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd fail.
I think I might survive, but barely.
Okay. Good then. Thanks, Dylan.
Yep.
Here's another one. It's by Ben.
All right.
Hey guys.
Hey.
I've been a lazy listener and thought I better pick up my game. So here's a random question.
Well, first of all, he said, hey. And as we know.
But he also said he's a lazy listener.
Yeah,
so.
Well, no. That just proves it.
Yeah, well, I guess.
He doesn't even know our official grading.
I guess, technically. I mean, I'm still not really happy with Lilith. I'm going to put it out there.
Nelson, it's our official grading now forever.
Okay. But I commend him, admitting that he's a lazy listener.
Yep.
You, listener, right now, what are you doing? Just listening for free. Like a chump. Anyway, here's the question. If you had to replace your hands with objects already in your house, what would you replace your hands with?
What would I replace my hands with? Do we get mobility in this object?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like if I replaced it with an oven mitt, can I still
use the thumb?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay, probably an oven mitt.
Okay.
Well, I essentially just want something hand-like.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, do we have an oven mitt? I don't know if we do.
No, I don't think we do.
Oh
no! Ruined. I think. Okay. How about if we can control every part of it?
Yeah.
It sort of doesn't work, but a book.
Okay.
Because if I could use the pages as kind of fingers, it's just like if I had 100 fingers.
Yeah, okay.
I could grip stuff.
Think of the dexterity.
And I could read if I was bored.
That's true.
I wouldn't have trouble with boredom in the wilderness if I've got books for hands.
I have an idea, Nelson.
Okay.
And it's a game changer.
Yep.
There's nothing in the rules that says we can do this, but there's also nothing in the rules that says we can't.
Okay.
I'm going to have a different object for each hand.
Yeah, that's fine.
I implore you to do the same.
Okay.
One hand, microphone.
Okay.
Other hand, audio recorder.
Okay.
We can podcast on the go.
Right.
Anywhere.
Will we still have enough if you said mic and then what?
An audio recorder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all built in one type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd have to plug one hand into the other, technically, when you want to record.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Or
is it wireless? I don't know.
Is it the equivalent of doing the little O with one hand and then the finger in the other?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Poking it through?
Yes.
Like hand sex?
Yeah.
Okay. We could podcast. I feel like that would be a way. I feel like people would be like, hey, you know how we all had to change our hands to things around us?
Yeah.
And you guys chose microphones? That's pretty shit. And there's people with tongs and just things that are actually going to help the rest of their life.
When we're out for dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to eat spaghetti with an audio recorder.
Yeah, but at least we can podcast about it.
Exactly.
So, hey, Cameron, it's just so annoying that we can't eat this pasta.
I'm very hungry, Nelson, and let me tell you.
I mean, I suppose we could just bury our face into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You know what? Flawless. Brilliant. I like it. Okay. Okay, but I think that's the show.
That's bloody it.
Thank you for writing in, Dylan and Ben.
Yep.
If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, readit podcast @gmail.com.
Yep.
You can also reach us at Facebook, at Twitter, and our subreddit. It's all readit podcast.
Yep.
And if you could subscribe or
rate.
Yeah,
Yep.
Or write in. Don't be a lazy listener. That's what I say. You bloody chumps.
Yep.
Except, to be honest, there's so many podcasts that I listen to that I just do nothing about.
And until today, now we're going to actively
get
involved with every podcast we listen to. We only ask that you do the same.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, write in. If you've never written in, just send us a bloody email.
And don't forget to spread the term raw.
Yeah. Sorry about this episode. Wasn't that good?
Says you.
Yeah. We're just going to end on a high.
It's a bit raw. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody, and we will read you later.
Lilip.